Welcome back to the FTC Intro Programming tutorials, and in this video we'll be learning how to create a basic hardware class that can be accessed by any of your programs, whether it's autonomous, teleop, or otherwise. So hardware class is useful because you can implement everything there, initialize all your hardware, and it's really accessible to everything. So instead of initializing it in every single class, so the first thing you'll need to do is right-click on org.firstinspires.ftc.teamcode and click New Java class and name it whatever you want. I'll just call it MG Hardware. And the first thing you'll need to do is you'll need to create an instance of the hardware class, and we'll just call it private static video hardware, and we'll just call it a robot and set it to null. And the next thing you want to do is you'll need to initialize the hardware map. So on the phones, it has a hardware map with all of your hardware, and you just name it a variable. Just call it HWMAP. And now, so for a basic hardware perspective, you'll need to initialize your all of your motors. And for now, we'll just initialize all of the wheel motors for your drivetrain. So, assuming you have four wheels, a four-wheel drive, and four motors, we'll say that we'll start off with DC motor, and you can name it LF motor, meaning left front motor, and just set it to null for now, and do that around three more times, and just call it right front motor and initialize all of the wheels, so left rear motor and RR motor. So the next step is for you to create a get instance class or variable of the hardware class that can be, so it can be uh, referred to from any other program. So you would do this by making a public static get instance. So all you need to do is public static, and name it the same thing as your class. And what you do is say get instance, and you will want an if statement saying if the robot variable is null, then you will want to set the robot to a new instance of the hardware class. Okay, and you'll want to return the value of robot. Okay, now once you have done this, you'll be able to access your hardware class from any of your programs. So now let's get started with the actual hardware initialization. So the first thing you want to do is create a private void initializing your hardware map. And just give it a name, hardware map for now. And you want to set hardware map equal to, from right here, you want to set the hardware map from the global variable equal to the hardware map from this method. So what you'll need to do is you want to put all of your motors, servos, whatever inside of try-catch loops, so that just in case any of them come unplugged or there's a failure with them, then your robot just doesn't crash and it still moves on. And it's better to have three wheels than your robot not moving. So the first step is, so let's just start off with the wheel motors. So we'll start off with try catch, saying, and there's a few things you'll need to initialize. So first of all, you need to initialize it in the hardware class. So you would set LF motor equal to the hardware app, and you want to set it to a name that is really easy to type, because it's really difficult to type on these $30 Android phones. So name it something simple, which can be messed up and easy to type. So we'll just call it LF for now. And the next step is for you to you'll need to set the direction of the left two wheels reversed and the right two wheels backward or forwards. And that's especially for doing a mecanum drive. I'm not sure about other types of drivetrains, but definitely for a mecanum drive, you need to set the left two motors to reverse and the right two motors to forward. So to do this, all you have to do is say LF motor dot set set direction, and it just DC motor simple dot direction dot reverse, or yeah, reverse. And next step for this is to set the power, or actually you need to set the motor to brake mode. It's much better than coast mode. Brake mode is much more easy to control, and definitely Intelia much more precise. So to do this, you'll need to say take the variable and say set zero powered behavior, and doing that you need to say DC motor dot zero power behavior dot brake, and doing this will set the motor to brake mode. And you also want to set the motor to power 0 just to initialize it. And if you're using encoders for your movement, you'll say LF motor dot set mode dot or DC motor dot run mode dot run using encoders. But this is only if you're using encoders. If you're not, you can just take this out. But for that's pretty much it for one of the wheels. And you'll also want to set in the catch loop that let's just say the exception is exception P. And inside of this, we'll just set the motor to null. And this way, if the motor comes unplugged, the robot will not crash the program, and you'll still be able to move the other motors. Okay, now we have done one wheel, and we just need to copy this over a few more times for all the other wheels. And remember, both of the left wheels need to be set to reversed. Reversed. Okay, yeah, and once you've done that, We can do an example for a servo as well. So we can just say public servo import the class, and we'll just call it test servo for now, and just set it to null. And you'll need to create the same try catch loop just in case the servo gets unplugged. And just to initialize the servo, all you'll need to do is you'll need to first set the hardware class. So just say test servo dot test servo dot or equals hardware map dot get servo class, and just name it something simple so it can be easily configured in your configuration on the phone, and we'll just call it TS for test servo. And in the catch, we'll just need to set the servo to null so that the program will still function if it gets unplugged. And that's pretty much it. All you need to do for all the other motors is initialize it the same way, and any servos and any hardware really. Even if you have a camera, you would just go I believe it's webcam name or cam name, and just say test camera, and just initialize it in the hardware class the same way. Alright, that's it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we'll be covering how to create a basic teleop class, and thank you for watching.